Hi and welcome to this Quick Start Beginners course for Forest Pro. In this course we'll be going through the fundamentals such as each tab, which is geometry, distribution and so on. Then we'll be dividing into projects and finishing up at the very end with one big project to tie it all together. I hope at the end of this course you'll be able to do your own projects and you'll be able to tackle everything Forest Pro can throw at you. Looking forward to seeing where we can go, and I hope everyone learns a lot from this. Okay, so before we get started, I just want to show you a few things I changed about Forest Pro at the very beginning so you can follow the course quite easily. First of all, you can click and drag these to bring them up and down. I've moved a few of them, but I wanted to show you in General tab, you can go into Settings and a few things I'm going to change for this course. I'm going to switch off Animation. I'm going to switch off About, Effects, shadows, cameras, and I think that is it. Geometry, everything else I want to keep. And then the only other thing I'm going to change is the open single rollout. So once I click that, I'm going to hit OK. And as you can see, they've changed, and this is all I need to know. The single rollout is pretty much so I can select here, and then I can select areas, and that will just stay open, and the other one will shut. I just find that easier to go through one at a time rather than having multiple ones open. I find that a lot easier. But that's all I needed to show you, just so you have the same setup that I do and you can follow along easily. The other thing is you might want to change your order to face this as well. And thank you, and let's get going.
Welcome to this first classroom session. If you feel like you already know Forest Pro a bit, you don't need to do this. You can skip on to the next section, but this is just a tiny bit of a sense of what it is, and then just quickly go over it. Kind of like a classroom. You're here. Some people learn differently, so I think sometimes people need to have a bit of a grasp on it before they jump straight in. So quickly, what I'm going to describe here is what Forest Park actually does. So here we have the Forest Park plugin. So these are going to be some objects, okay? So objects get placed into the plugin, okay? And then once you're in the plugin, you have a bunch of parameters you can do. Now these aren't all the settings, but it's just the ones I think you should know for now. So adding these objects, you'd use this plus symbol here, okay? And you basically add those objects in. And each of these objects, 1, 2, and 3, will be added in here, okay? And you can change certain things like the scale, Z offset, center displacement, and probability individually. So you can do it for this one, and this one, okay? Once you have that in, you'd want to move on to these two, which is your areas and your surfaces. You might already have those defined. So areas here would be adding in here, your splines, closed or open. You can add geometry like polygons, but they can only be an exclude, okay? Your splines can be an include and an exclude, okay? You can also add a paint layer, but you need a surface. So these two kind of work hand in hand with each other. Okay, so then you can also add in Forest Pro objects as well, other items. And then once you have your surfaces and your splines defined, you can then distribute it. Okay, so this can be done in a few ways. You have image, like the one shown. You also have path. And the other one, there's another two, but the only other one that I feel is relevant is, so it's path, image, and reference. Okay, so you have those for those as well. This, for image, you're using this image, okay? And you can change them here, and you can also input your own map, okay? And then you can decide how many you want to see visible, okay? So every 100 meters, this image will show, and white is seen, black is not seen, like a mask in Photoshop, okay? And then once you have this, you can use one object. That's the power of Forest Pro. You can use one object, and you can use these three values, which is scale, rotation, and transform. And you can really do a lot with just one model because you can scale it, transform it, rotate it slightly. So it looks like there's a lot there, but it's really just the same model repeated over and over. So to go over, you add in your geometry over here. Okay, you can change individual bits like that. Then you have your surfaces and your splines all in here, and then you change how you're going to distribute it. and then you can do transform. That's not, like I said, that's not all of it, but those are the main bones of Forest Pro and how you can really take advantage of it. So now we're going to jump into 3ds Max, and I'm going to go through each of these tabs and explain how they work.